When you're sitting on a plane, have you ever stopped to think about what's really keeping you safe up there? It's not just a bunch of rules in a binder. Nope. It's actually a deep-seated philosophy, a framework that guides every single decision. So today, we're going to dive into the 8 principles that form this incredible unseen backbone of aviation safety.
So, picture this, a brand new, gleaming, multi-million-dollar aircraft just sitting there on the tarmac, grounded, can't go anywhere. What could possibly cause that? A tiny mechanical problem? Maybe. But more often than not, the real root cause is a breakdown in the system that was designed to stop that little problem from ever happening in the first place.
And believe me, the stakes are absolutely staggering. When an aircraft is on the ground, they call it an AOG event, it can cost an airline up to, get this, $100,000 for every single hour it's not in the air. That's not just a repair bill, folks. That is a massive financial bleed.
And this really gets to the heart of the matter. It's not about one little broken part. It's about a crack in the foundation, a breakdown in the very idea of quality.
So, what's the fix? Well, it's a really powerful concept called a quality management system, or QMS. The best way to think about it is it's the central nervous system of an airline. It's the absolute backbone of safety, compliance, and efficiency. And its whole job is to make sure every single process meets the toughest standards imaginable.
All right, so how does this whole system actually work? We're going to break it all down. We'll start with the human element, then we'll look at the processes, the data they use to guide decisions, and finally, the engine that keeps everything getting better. And of course, why it all really matters. Let's jump in.
Okay, first up, the human foundation. This is all about principles 1 and 2, leadership and the involvement of people. Because really, at the end of the day, any system is only as good as the folks running it, right? And you can see right away how these two are just totally linked. Leadership, they're the ones setting the vision, establishing that safety culture from the very top. But that vision doesn't go anywhere without the buy-in and full involvement of everyone. We're talking from the CEO right down to the person loading your bags. It takes the whole team to make it work.
So for you, as you're getting ready for careers in aviation management or cabin services, this is absolutely crucial. A QMS isn't some dusty manual. No way. It needs real commitment from the top. And for cabin crew, this changes everything. It's not just about how you do the safety demo. It's about deeply understanding why you're doing it. It's about being a core part of that quality culture.
All right, let's build on that. Next up, we've got a system of processes. This is where we look at principles 3 and 4, the process and system approach.
Okay, process approach sounds kind of corporate and stuffy, but I promise, you see it in action all the time. Just think about boarding a plane. You've got inputs, right? Like passenger data and the aircraft being ready. Then there's the activity, the actual boarding procedure. And what's the desired output? An on-time departure. Seeing it as one smooth process is the whole key to efficiency. But here's the thing. A single process is just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. The system approach is about recognizing that aviation is this huge, complex web of interconnected processes. And if just one of those threads comes loose, the whole thing can start to unravel.
The aircraft turnaround is the perfect example. You've got all these separate processes happening at once: catering, cleaning, refueling, baggage handling, but they all form one big system, the turnaround system. So let's say the catering truck is just 10 minutes late. It's not just about a delayed meal service. That can cause a domino effect, delaying the entire flight and creating chaos down the line.
So you have all these processes that have to work together like a symphony orchestra. But how do you make sure they're all playing the right notes? What guides them? That brings us right to principles 5 and 6, a factual approach and customer focus.
Yeah, there's a saying that really captures this perfectly. Effective decisions are based on the analysis of data and information. In a world where lives are on the line, you just can't afford to guess. It's got to be about the facts.
So what data are we even talking about? Oh, it's everything. Airlines are obsessed with data. I mean, they're looking at audit results, delay stats, customer satisfaction surveys, error reports, formal complaints, you name it. Every single piece of data is like a clue that helps them see the big picture of how they're really doing.
And all that data helps them serve the customer. But, and this is a really important point, in aviation, the customer isn't just the person in seat 14A. Think bigger. The customer is also the pilot, who needs to trust that their aircraft is perfectly maintained. It's the air traffic controller, who depends on getting accurate info. It's even the regulatory bodies who need to see that you're following the rules. Everyone who relies on the airline is a customer.
Okay, we're on to our final set of principles. Think of these as the engine that keeps the whole QMS machine running and getting better over time. We're talking about continual improvement and supplier relationships.
This is so important. A QMS is never done. It's not some document you write and then forget about. It's a living, breathing system that's always evolving. And the tool for that is the PDCA cycle. Plan, do, check, act. You plan an improvement. You do it. You implement it. You check the data to see if it actually worked. And then you act to make that improvement the new normal. It's this constant cycle, this never-ending quest to be better.
And that drive for improvement can't stop at the airline's front door. I mean, let's be real. Airlines don't do everything themselves. They rely on a whole network of suppliers for fuel, catering, maintenance, you name it. So having a great, mutually beneficial relationship with those suppliers is critical. It ensures that the airline's commitment to quality extends to every single partner.
Okay, so we've gone through these 8 principles, and I know they can sound a little theoretical, but this is the part where it all clicks. This is where we connect the dots between this framework and the real, day-to-day world of aviation. This is the big so what.
And check this out. This table is so important because it proves these principles aren't just ideas from a textbook. They are the actual foundation of global aviation standards. The IATA Operational Safety Audit, that's IOSA, is the super rigorous, internationally respected evaluation, and its requirements map directly to these QMS principles. This is literally how the industry polices itself and ensures everyone is meeting the bar.
And when an airline gets this right, the benefits are just huge. A strong QMS isn't about paperwork. It's about tangibly enhancing safety. It's about reducing risk, boosting efficiency, and maybe most importantly, building that rock-solid trust with everyone, from the passengers boarding the plane to the regulators who oversee the entire system.
So here's the main takeaway for you. This is what I really want you to remember. Understanding these 8 principles is what separates someone who just follows the rules from a true professional who actively manages safety and service. This is your toolkit. This is the framework you're going to use to make smart, safe decisions for your entire career.
And as we look ahead, with things like AI and big data completely changing the game in aviation, these core principles, they're more important than ever. So I'll leave you with a question to think about. As the next generation of aviation leaders, how are you going to use these fundamental principles to make sure all that new tech serves safety first, not just the bottom line?